Holy shit. It is that time of the week. Rent a Girlfriend chapter 180 review. Oh my god, this chapter. I mean, you could probably tell from this panel alone. Shit is going. It might happen, alright? We've been at this for like 30 weeks now. It may or may not happen, but hey, I'm loving this manga. So, this chapter was so good, alright? So, the chapter starts off with Kazuya having he's thinking of the events of last chapter, and then, it cuts to, he's thinking of last chapter, like it's in his bed at night. He's thinking of next chapter, the last chapter, and then he goes to work. Right, sees Ruka there, and he gets on his hands and knees and begs Ruka to break up with him. He's fine. He comes out and says that he's in love with Chizuru, and Ruka is like, well, it was like, duh, it was obvious. Now I already knew. Kazuya's like, Kazuya's shocked. He's, what? She knew? What? It's just wild. And, Ruka goes on to tell him, goes on this, like, whole tangent of trying to, she wants him to stay, because Ruka generally feels for Kazuya, but Kazuya doesn't return Ruka's feelings. And eventually, Ruka, they get into like a little argument. Wouldn't even call it an argument, but Ruka's talking about her talking to him and whatnot, and then she gets upset and leaves the room. Right? She's trying to be mad, but she's really kind of heartbroken about it, and like she knows that she forced Kazuya into this relationship, and like and whatnot, like things along those lines. So how she, I mean, yeah. I like how she reflected on herself of forcing Kazuya into this relationship, because to me personally, I never really particularly liked Haruka. I always found her really annoying and pissy off because of she kind of just forced Kazuya into the relationship, which really was like, ugh. But she reflected on that, which made me, like her a bit more. And then she, talks about how she's always known he's in love with Chizuru, but why is he coming out now and saying it? And then, boom, it hits her. He's planning something. So she charges back in the room, and she starts shaking Kazuya. Don't tell me you're planning something stupid or something crazy. Something strange, I think is the exact word she says. And Kazuya is like, dead silent. Silent, yes. And Ruka's like, boom, it hits Ruka, and she's like, you can't be doing this. You're gonna cross the boundary line that separates you from rental girlfriend and client. You can't be doing this. You're gonna break a cardinal rule. You'll never see her again, and stuff like that. And then their boss tells them to get back to work. And then we cut to Ruka and Kazuya walking home together. All right, Kazuya's like, "You don't need to walk me home," and she's like, "I gotta make sure you don't dump into Chizuru anywhere." And then ooh. So she gets Kazuya into his room, and she's like, "All right, you stay in there, acting like a mom, like she just grounded her son or child. You gotta stay in your room, no coming out." And then she leaves, and then Kazuya's like looks over, and he's like, "Huh, no tissues." So Kazuya gets up, walks out of the house, and starts to walk to the store to presumably buy some tissues. Along the way, he's having multiple different thoughts about how his relationship, quote unquote, relationship with Chizuru, or his feelings for Chizuru, and how he's going to tell his grandma, basically, that they broke up. When will it hurt her the least? And things along those lines. And then, as he comes back to the apartment that he and Chizuru kind of live in, he looks over and sees Chizuru there, and then, boom, it hits him. The easiest and best solution to this whole ordeal lie that he started a long time ago. In the manga, I think it's been about a year and a half, 2 years in the manga time. You take the lie and you make it a reality. So he goes up, and then Chizuru, says hello, and then he's kind of just silent, and he's thinking this all along in his head, and Chizuru's like, what the weirdo? And he starts walking up the staircase, and then Kazuya says, wait. And then Kazuya, iron his resolve. He has the determination. He's about to fucking, they're staring at each other for, we don't know exactly amount of time because it's a manga, but they're staring at each other, and Kazuya's gonna do it, and Chizu she gets embarrassed, and she gets up and pew, runs to her room and shuts the door behind her, and Kazuya's like, fuck. And then Chizu sits behind her door, and she's like, what was up with that face he made? And then Kazuya goes into his room and takes a shower. Presumably a cold shower, but a shower nonetheless. And oh my god, dude, this chapter, whoa, I absolutely love this manga. Like, I understand it has flaws and whatnot, but I really hate the stupid aspect of 170 chapters with no development. That makes me mad. But that's a pleasure, because fuck, this chapter was so good. And dude, look, you see this art, alright? This art is just phenomenal, alright? It's so good. It is so good. It's so good. I probably should zoom in more, because I kind of got the full panel and should have probably had a lot less thingy, because who knows things with manga panels and whatnot, but that's beside the point. Anyways, this chapter was amazing, and next chapter is going to get spicy from that title that it has. It's got something with confessing. It's got something to do with mommy. I don't know what the fuck's happening next chapter, but it's gonna be crazy. And if you want to read the manga, go ahead. It's great. I'd recommend it. But yeah, I love it. All right, peace.